everyone, welcome back to my channel. Oh my gosh, I am sorry guys, I have been totally MIA'd for you guys for the past like what am I, in a haunted house here? My whole lights just flickered. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry guys, I've been totally MIA for the past like 3-4 weeks for you guys. Actually more than MIA, I've just been like totally non-existent for you guys, and I am so sorry about that. Things have just been totally hectic lately. I'm just out of college, so I put in my 2 weeks notice for my job that I had while I was in college, my part-time job, and now I am trying to look for a full-time job, and I'm trying to get my resume together with all my experience, and I'm trying to get my LinkedIn page together, and it's just been a whole thing, applying for jobs, interviews, whatever. But it's just been absolutely crazy. And then in addition to that, something about myself that you guys don't know is I have been a ballet dancer since I was about 7 years old. And I sort of stopped that when I got into college. And now that I'm out of college, I've been going back to dance classes. So that's been a whole other thing, going to dance rehearsals and classes and all that. And then also, in addition to that, we were doing, my dance studio is doing a dance cover of Thriller. It's not ballet, but it's a dance cover of Thriller, and I'm a huge Michael Jackson fan. And so we're doing a performance of Thriller on Halloween night over here. So I've just been going to rehearsals and dance classes for that, so that's been a little bit crazy. In fact, I just got back from one. But good news for you guys is that everything has died down. I'm done with applying for jobs, I'm done with my resume, I'm done with my LinkedIn page. So I am pretty much free like usual to film for you guys again, so that's great. I've just, like I said, just sorry for being absent for you guys. It's just that in addition to everything being so hectic, I was just, by the end of the day when I would usually film for you guys, I was just completely exhausted and just needed to sleep. So I don't want to film for you guys if I'm not 100% there, and if I'm not 100% my full energy, because I really like making these videos for you guys, and I don't want to make a video for you guys when I'm not at my full capacity for energy and that sort of thing. So I just decided to take a few weeks off because I didn't want to film for you guys if I wasn't at full energy. But like, now that everything has died down, I've got my energy back, and this week's video will be a start of returning back to my normal schedule. So next week there also will be a video, and so on and so forth. I'm gonna try to get a video out to you guys every Sunday or Monday, depending on if I have to wait 48 hours for copyright or whatever. But I am back to a normal schedule now, and I've gotten my energy back, so I look forward to just getting back to you guys and talking more about Journey and about all of the things that I'm going to be reacting to. So yeah, I guess we'll get into it. So for this week's video, I'm going to be reacting to the 8th track off of Journey's Evolution album. The album was released March 23rd, 1979, and the name of the song is Just the Same Way. And I'm going to be reacting to the music video and also a live version from Osaka in 1980. So just to let you guys know, I have heard the song before, but it's been a while. As I've explained before with songs that I already know, as soon as I started this channel, I made a commitment that I wasn't going to listen to any Journey outside of this channel. I haven't listened to any, I listened to Journey outside of filming for you guys, but it's the songs that I've already recorded my reactions to. So if I haven't recorded my reaction to the song yet, I either haven't heard it ever in my entire life, or I've heard it once before, but that was over a year and a half ago. So this is essentially a first reaction again, because I haven't heard it in like probably almost a year and a half now. So yeah, I'm just super excited to get into this, so let's get into it.
my mind. Come with me, never go away. Every day we will find, yeah. That's the same way you love me. That's the same way she loves you. Just the same way you do. Just the same way you do. Just the same way you love me. Just the same way she loves you. Now the timing's right. You bring to me the key to my life. Stay with me, won't you stay the night? In the morning feeling fine, yeah. That's the same way you love me. That's the same way she loves you. Just the same way you do. Just the same way you do. Just the same way you love me.
Okay, so I just wanted to, because we're in the middle of the song, and I am going to run it back 10-15 seconds so we can get back into it. But before we do that, I just want to talk about my thoughts on the song so far. So, first of all, I love how much guitar is in the instrumental parts, and also just behind Steve while he's singing. We have, I think we definitely have the electric guitar with Neil Schon, but then it sounds like we also might have maybe an acoustic guitar, or maybe it's just the cymbals going, but it sounds very, very cool, because if it's just the cymbals, it's going along with the same rhythm that Neil Schon is on his guitar, so it almost makes it sound like there's more guitar in it than there is. If there is a guitar, if there is a acoustic guitar, then it just sounds great. I love the beat and the guitars and all of that, how that goes in with the rhythm and everything, and it sounds great. And then Neil Schon, not Neil Schon, Greg Raleigh, he comes in, his voice, I really like his voice, and I love the way that his voice complements Steve. I know I've talked about this before in songs that they've done. I just love the way that his voice complements Steve, and Steve's voice complements him so well. They just mesh together so well. And, you know, obviously Steve's voice, when he comes in, it's just incredible. And I also love that they're doing harmonies too. I can't really remember, but it's like on one verse they trying to think. It's on the last time they say just the same way she loves. When they say love, I think it's when they say love, they go into harmony, the entire band. You know how I feel about their harmonies. I love their harmonies. Yeah, I'm actually really liking this song so far. So I love the back and forth between Steve and Greg Raleigh. It sounds really, really nice. Because like I said, their voices just complement each other so well. But I'm going to run it back about 15 seconds and let's get back into it.
Yeah, that's the same way you love me. That's the same way she loves you. Just the same way you do. Just the same way you do. Just the same way you love me. Just the same way you love. Oh, now you should be holding on to him, girl. Oh, yeah. Just like you want to do. Oh, no. Just love and squeeze him, girl. Oh, yeah. Just love and squeeze him, yeah. That's the same.
Before we get into the chorus, which is going to come in, like, oh my gosh. Before we get into this next chorus, which I feel is going to be just the way that they led into it, it's just, sometimes there's a chorus that is like already really, really good, and then whoever is writing it or making it doesn't change anything about the chorus, but they change the way that they lead into the chorus, and that changes the energy and the feel of the chorus, and makes it feel more energetic, and you feel the chorus more. And that's exactly what they did here. I don't know if they changed any, like, put more instruments in on this chorus that they're leading into, or if it's just the way that they led into it is going to make the chorus sound bigger and better. But I'm have to rewind this part. The way that they completely changed the beat and gave Steve that entire verse, not like a going back and forth between him and Greg Raleigh, but just him, like, you don't expect it, because the whole song is him going back and forth with Greg Raleigh, so you expect that the whole song is, you know, one beat with the guitars and the drums, and Steve singing over it, and the whole song is also with Steve and Greg Raleigh going back and forth. So you expect it to be that way for the whole song, but then they just completely hit you with something that is totally unexpected but works so well, where they just change up the entire beat of the song, and they have Steve singing and belting like he usually does, and there's no Greg Raleigh, and it's just something that's completely, like, out of left field. You don't even notice, or, well, you obviously you notice it, but you don't expect it, and then it just comes in and it's just like, whoa, what is this new thing? And Steve comes in and absolutely kills it. I also love how there's kind of like a I can't really remember, because, like I said, it's my first time listening to this song in a while, and I hardly remember it at all, but when Steve comes into that part and the beat changes and it's just him singing, there's also kind of, I don't think it's a call and response between him and the band, but they have, in between when he's not singing, they have the band come in and do, like, just like a great harmony to fill in the spaces when Steve is not singing. I just love that whole part. That whole section was great, and like I said, most likely, I haven't heard the chorus after that, but most likely the way that they led in with so much energy into that one little part, that's going to lead right into the chorus, and it's going to make the chorus have more energy and feel bigger, which I think is really, really cool. But yeah, I have to hear that again, so let's get back into it.
Just the same way you love me. Oh, now
You should be holding on to him down.
oh, yeah.
Just like you want to do.
Oh, no.
Just love and squeeze him, girl.
Oh, yeah.
Just love and squeeze him, yeah.
That's the same way you love me.
That's the same way she loves you.
Just the same way you do.
Just the same way you do.
Just the same way you love me.
Just the same way she loves you.
Just the same way you do.
Just the same way you do.
That's the same way you love me.
That's the same way she loves you.
Oh.
I really, really enjoyed that song. Whoop. Sorry, an ad just randomly started playing on my computer. Okay. I I absolutely loved that. That was really, really, really cool. And you know me, I always like when we get a music video or something like that, because even though it isn't necessarily a live, I know that it's just them lip syncing to the studio version. I really like that you get to actually see them essentially performing it, because you get to just see how much they love what they do, and their energy really comes across on screen. But and then also just like Neil Sean's guitar solo, because I haven't mentioned it yet. Like, he's really just amazing on his guitar. Yeah, I mean, just like what I thought with, when I paused it previously, I talked about the way that they changed the beat and they had Steve sing that section. I was right that when it came back to the chorus, even though I don't think that they changed anything in the chorus from the previous two choruses or one chorus, the whole energy and the feel of it was a lot stronger. Like, it felt like much bigger of a chorus, and it felt more catchy and more like, even though they didn't change I don't think they changed anything about what the chorus was, but they just changed the way they led into the chorus. And that is just ingenious, the way that they're able to make it seem like it's a bigger chorus and like they've added more instrumentation or something, but they really haven't. They just changed the way they led into it, and that changed the feel of it, which I think is like really, really cool. But of course, if I'm wrong and they did actually change the instrumentation in that chorus, then you can let me know down in the comment section below. But if they didn't, that's crazy. If they did, still, like, they're just amazing. But yeah, I'm just super excited to get into this live performance. This is just the same way live in Osaka 1980, and I have done countless performances from this, I can't even remember how many, maybe 2 or 3 other videos from this concert, and they've blown me away every single time with this, the way that they perform in this show. So I'm super excited to get into this, so let's get into it.
Yesterday was a good day. It's after midnight and I've got you on my mind. Come with me, never go away. Every day we will find, yeah. That's the same way you love me. It's the same way she loves you. Just the same way you do. Oh, the same way you do. Just the same way you love me. The same way she loves you.
I have to pause it before I usually pause it, because just to make one little remark and then I'll let it go until about the middle, and then I'll pause it again. But I think you guys probably know by now what I'm gonna say. Steve always, well, first of all, Greg Raleigh, he sounds great live. Second, Steve Perry, when he always does this whenever he goes live, and he makes the vocal more impressive live than it is in the studio, and more difficult for him to sing live in the studio, and he nails it every single time. And also just the clarity in his voice is incredible. Like, the clarity that he gets live when he sings is absolutely incredible. That's all I have to say so far. They all sound, the band sounds incredible with the beat and the instrumentation and everything. Greg Raleigh sounds great. Steve sounds great. Like, everything is just so, like, well rehearsed and well put together. It's just amazing. But yeah, let's get back into it.
The same way you love me. The same way she loves you. The same way you do. Oh, the same way you do. The same way you love me. The same way she loves. Take a chance, loving challenge. You bring to me the key to
let it play a little bit past the middle, where I usually like to pause it, but that whole breakdown part with Steve, and he even added a little riff and run. It was very, very quick. A little riff or run to make it even more difficult. Just everything. Not just Steve, not just Greg Raleigh, not just Neil Sean or Ross Valerie or Steve Smith. All of them collectively together is just, they're just such a, like, collectively as a band, they're like always so on top of their game and always so great, especially live. Obviously in the studio, incredible, but they just bring another energy, a different energy and a different feel to their live performances. There's just so much energy, and they're just, I'm constantly blown away about how, constantly blown away with how great they are live. They're just, I don't think that I've ever heard them make a mistake live. Granted, I haven't listened to everything, but they're just such a tight-knit machine, a well-oiled machine at this point. And it's absolutely incredible. But yeah, let's get back into it, because I'm gonna rewind that section because I need to hear it again.
You should be holding on to him now. Oh, yeah. Just like you want to do, yeah. Oh, no. You love it, squeezing back. Oh, yeah. You love it, squeezing, yeah.
That's the same way you love me.
Same way she loves you.
Just the same way you do.
Let's sing.
Just the same way you love me.
The same way she loves you.
Just the same way you do.
The same way.
That's the same way you love me.
The same way she loves.
I love 2 seconds. I love the way Steve looked into the camera at the end of his note. He really likes doing that. He likes building that connection with the person who he knows will be undoubtedly watching the video later at some point, and who will be a fan. So I really like that.
The same way she loves.
Oh, it's so good. Alright, so first thing first, Neil Sean, guitar solo, absolutely incredible. I always love, I feel like I like Neil Sean's guitar solos better live than I do in the studio, just because, I mean, it's kind of obvious, but when they do a song in the studio, most likely they are going to plan the, not necessarily plan the guitar solo, but they're going to plan kind of the length of the guitar solo, because they want it to be played on radio, and radio, usually there's a set time limit that they can, that they have to meet. And, you know, the guitar solo can't go too long, because then it'll be cut out. But I like that when you go live, there's no limit. So Neal Schon can just go and play his guitar solo for as long as he wants to, which I really, really like that, because there have been many, many performances that I've reacted to where the guitar solo, he just goes so much longer than what is in the studio version, and he just like completely blows me away with that sort of stuff. And it was the same thing here. It sounded like he might have gone a little bit longer than the studio version. Maybe it's just me, but I love that. I also love that again, I pay attention to, you know, what people do when they're on stage and their like mannerisms, that sort of thing. And I think I mentioned in the last song that I reacted to, or maybe the song before, that Steve Perry, before he was a singer, he was a drummer, and he likes to stand by the drums and face his back towards the audience and like just groove along with the drums. And I saw him doing a lot of that again in this performance, which I feel like he's probably going to do that in every performance. But it's just cool to see him, you know, to see him being drummer Steve Perry and not necessarily singer Steve Perry, because that's another aspect to him that's cool. But is there anything I'm missing? Oh my gosh, how could I forget? The last 20, maybe 15 seconds of the Neal Schon's guitar solo, Steve came in and he harmonized with the guitar. You know me, I've mentioned this time and time again when doing these reactions. I love when Steve Perry and Neal Schon's guitar, I love when Steve Perry's voice and Neal Schon's guitar harmonize. When Neal is playing a melody and then Steve comes in and he just sings the same melody or harmonizes with the melody. I absolutely love the way his voice blends in with the guitar. It sounds just so beautiful. And I absolutely just love that part. And I'm really, really glad that they added that in. Maybe that was spur of the moment, but it seemed like it was more rehearsed. But I love that they decided to add that into it, because that definitely wasn't in the studio version. And I love that they added that into the live version. But I guess it goes without saying, as per usual, I like the live better than the studio. Still love the studio, and I think both versions are probably going on my playlist. Like, I'm gonna add the live version, most likely, and then I'm also gonna add the studio version, because they're both just incredible. But I do gravitate towards the live. But yeah, I guess that's really all I had to say about this. I loved every single thing about this song, and about the live performance, and the music video, and everything. But now that I've shared now that I've shared my thoughts with you, I would love for you to, I cannot talk today, oh my gosh. Now that I've shared my thoughts with you, I would love for you to do the same with me, and let me know down in the comment section below what you thought of this song, and whether you liked it, whether you didn't like it, and why, and also if you like the studio or the live version better. I look forward to hearing from you, because it's been quite a while, so I'm excited to see what you guys think about this, and just hear your thoughts and your comments. So yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.